Not a lot to talk again about the Broncos when it comes to the game. They're like last week. I kind of was into ranting. I was ranting more than ranting, RANT, more than talking about the game, and I really don't want to get into that because I know I am already. But so you had the game. The first half was a kind of a boring defensive battle, 3-3 for a long time, 3-3, and then you finally had New England score a touchdown and then a couple field goals, which ultimately won the game. But through the whole game, the Broncos were in the game the whole game. It wasn't like the Broncos just got their butt kicked. It wasn't like the Broncos just went out there and got their butt kicked. The Broncos stood in there defensively the whole game, and they just couldn't do anything offensively. Are the players not in sync? Is the quarterback not throwing the ball to the players to be in sync? Is what's going on? That's a lot of big questions. A lot of things need to be answered when it comes down to the game. So there's not a whole lot of highlights. Like I said, that tight end pass, the 31-yard pass that he had was kind of one of the biggest highlights. So getting over to the defense came up big time after time after time. Von Miller came up big. Cricket had a big play. He had a forced fumble, a sack, forced fumble, but we didn't get the ball. But the New England Patriots landed on the ball, but it was a great play. It was an awesome play, and it was fun to watch. So you have the defense there. You have the defense shutting them down. As far as passing, you had Tom Brady with 188 yards. That's how many yards he threw for, 188 yards. So the passing defense kept him over 200 yards. I didn't look up the let me see if I can look it up real quick. I didn't look up the rushing yards for the New England Patriots. But to keep Tom Brady under 200 yards and to keep him at 16 points, the Broncos should have won that game. The defense did their job. The defense did their job against the Patriots offense. So the Broncos need to score at least 20 points. If the Broncos could put up more than 20 points, the Broncos offense, could put up more than 20 points, the Broncos could win any game. They could win any game. But when you have an offense that's not putting up any points and they keep blaming the offensive line, then there's a problem there, So so Trevor Siemian plays bad. And all these fans say, it's our offensive line, it's crappy. Let's take it back to when Trevor Siemian or Paxton won the game and he lost the game. They didn't blame the offensive line. When Paxton Lynch had a bad game, they blamed Paxton Lynch. So it's kind of messed up that they keep blaming the offensive line when Trevor Siemian's out there, but when Paxton Lynch plays, they blame Paxton Lynch for it. So it's really getting to be kind of upsetting. So what do we do moving forward? As far as we know, Trevor Siemian's playing, so we're going to get the same results, basically. We just hope that the defense could maybe score and that the offense could punch it in the end zone a couple times. That's what we got to hope for, because that's the only way we'll be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs or the Raiders, because they're both pretty solid teams. The Raiders are starting to show their weaknesses. I gave you the scores. Kansas lost this weekend to a team that beat us by 3, and they lost by 2 to that team. So the Broncos could win both of those games because there's flaws in the Chiefs games and there's flaws in the Raiders game. So the Broncos could still go out there and win those 2 games. If they could win those last 2 games and a couple more things happen, the Broncos are back in that 6th place seed. The Broncos really need to be the 5th place seed. So they really needed that win. They really needed that win this weekend. They really shouldn't have took that loss because they really needed that win. I was trying to pull up the stats on the rushing yards for the Patriots. Let's see what it says. There's the stats right there. They might play. So rushing yards, D. Lewis ran for 18 carries for 95 yards. So the Broncos kept him under 100. Edelman caught the ball, 6 receptions for 75 yards. So like I said, the defense did their job, and then Tom Brady, 16 for 32. So he was about 50% as far as the rating goes, as far as passing. So 188 yards passing. So basically the Broncos did their job defensively. Now, they kind of put it in. That rumble. The rumble in the locker room was basically saying, the defense, you need to play better, and the offense is saying the defense is telling the offense you need to play better. That's what it sounds like to me. So, Trevor Siemian looks good every once in a while, and then he looks like he can't play the game of football. And I don't get it. So with them losing another game like this, the coaches have to see this now. So looking forward now, okay, so obviously there wasn't very much to talk about during the game. The defense did their job. They shut down New England. In all reality, it should have been like, if they were to lose like that, it should have been like a 16-14, 16-13. That's kind of where it should have been at in that situation. But obviously, our offense couldn't get no scores on the board. And going back to the fight, that's kind of what the fight was about. The offense, the defense, the offensive guys trying to say that they're doing what they can, when the defensive guys are kind of fed up with it and don't believe it. So that's kind of where we're at on that. So I'm going to give a quick announcement. I'm going to give a quick announcement. When I get done with the announcement, I'm going to give you my score for next week. My score for the Kansas Bronco game. Let you know who was going to win that. My score last week for the New England Denver game was 14-10. And I was pretty close on the, if you flip the score around, I was pretty close. So it's pretty funny that I was pretty close on that. I wish I was close the opposite way. I wish I was close to where the Broncos were going to win. So let me go into a real quick sound buzz. And then when I come back with the sound buzz, I'm going to give an announcement. And then as soon as I get done with that, we're going to give you the score and wrap up the night. It's been an awesome podcast. There was a lot more stuff I wanted to get into, but like I said, it would sound like I'm ranting again. Ranting. And I don't like to do that. I try to give you more analytics and give you more information about the game and how the game should have went leading into the future of the Broncos, and I think the future is good. We do want to talk about the playoff scenario. So after I give this real quick announcement and run this sound, then I will give you my playoff prediction. So just give me a second here. Thank you. Okay, you're live with Ike Diaz on the Ike Diaz Sports Show. You can check me out every Monday. It goes down. We go live. It's the best sports show. We get hype. Usually I play a lot of music, but tonight I'm not playing a lot of music because I can only play 30 seconds of music from what one of the outlets of the station are saying as far as the podcasting goes. But we'll get more into that later. But anyway, I want to give you a real quick update on a product that I use that I've been using for over 10 years. The product is called Tom's. Since 1970, Tom's of Maine. It's fluoride-free, all-natural, anti-plaque and whitening toothpaste. It's at your local grocery store, or your local health food store, or even your local pharmacy. So make sure you check it out. It's Tom's of Maine since 1970. They've been in business almost 47 years. It's fluoride-free, natural. It's all natural, anti-plaque and whitening toothpaste. And my favorite is the peppermint. So, but they have several brands, so check it out. Before I found out that I liked the peppermint, I probably tried every different kind of them. I loved them all, but peppermint was the best one. I felt like it was the best one. So it's pretty nice to be able to let everybody know about Tom's of Maine. Also, we are looking for sponsorships, so if you would like your commercial played, we will run a commercial. Just let me know. You can inbox any of the podcasters, and if they're in your area and you want your commercials played in your area, if you want the commercial played in Europe, if you want the commercial played in Canada, just inbox any of us, and we'll get a representative will get back to you, and we will let you know. Where it's at. So it's or where we could get your commercial on, and you might have a certain podcast that you want your commercial played on. So you can let us all. You can also let us know that. So hopefully we can get to work together soon. You can reach me at 720-298-2121. That's 720-298-2121. And like I said, you can inbox and request any of the podcasters, and they can all get back to you, and they'll get you as much information as possible. And then we could have one of our representatives get back with you and set everything up. And then you can have any podcaster you want to do the commercial too. No, actually right now, we only have a couple podcasters that can actually record commercials. So unless you have a commercial, we could play the commercial for you. So real quick, I want to get into my score, my prediction for this weekend's game, Kansas City and the Broncos. It's going to be an awesome game. It's going to come down to the wire. So make sure you put, if you listen to this later, make sure you put your scores in the chat. It's awesome when you guys put your scores in the chat. I really appreciate that. So my prediction for this game against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos is the Broncos 21 and the Kansas City Chiefs 17. 21-17. I'm going to write that down. And I know a lot of people are asking me, well, how is the offense going to score 21 points? Well, I'm not going to put it all on the offense. I think that the defense may score a touchdown this week against Kansas City. So look forward to the Broncos. The Broncos scoring defensively. Hopefully, that's what we've needed the last couple games. If the Broncos would have scored defensively, then the Broncos win both games. The last 4 games, because the Broncos haven't really got blown out. This was the biggest loss I think the Broncos took since the Atlanta game, and we lost by 13 points yesterday. There's your number, Chris, if you're listening. We lost by 13. We lost by 13 points, Chris. I think we put that in the comment too much. I hope you're still listening. I think we put it in the comment too, lost. So it's pretty crazy. But we're gonna be posting this everywhere. Make sure you check out iHeart. Excuse me, iHeart, iTunes. I know, Chris. We lost by 13. iHeart, iTunes. It's really important that you go to iHeart, iTunes. Make sure you type in IKE DIAZ, KBLP, Chris Stevens, any of the names of the podcasters, D. Marie Love on iHeart, and it should come up. We're getting it all worked out now to where the